before we go to the members of the general public. So, reminded by the Chair of the Council's expectations for the audio or visual recording of this meeting. The Parish Council meeting may be recorded under the Openness of Local Government Regulations 2014. Devices are to be placed on the table provided throughout the meeting. So, thank you very much. And we've got the audio recorded by the Parish Council just there as well. Okay, so members of the public. Yeah, fine.
Apologies just for having notes. I looked on the agenda and I noticed still lacking the crossing of the 6 shops about. I think there's more important parts in the village than the 6 shops, which now might not be an ideal crossing, but has got a crossing. That's why I point out A638 Wakefield Road is 10 crossings, i.e. traffic islands, I don't know what you ought to call them. But also there's 6 speed cameras, right? This is obviously, as you all know, this is the road that's covered by the argument over what type of crossing it is. A628 Barnsley Road, I didn't count up, but they've got quite a lot of different types of crossings down there, down with Dr. Surgery, etc. 628 Doncaster Road is 1 crossing. Also, there's a bus stop that butts onto the roundabout, which causes problems. And the A628 Barnsley Road, there's no crossings. So we're arguing about crossings where we've got crossings falling out of the zeros. In one part, I'm sure it's only about 50 yards apart. I'd just like people to go down. I'd like the councillors to go down to the roundabout and watch the traffic. People being knocked down there, the petitions got started and never got carried on, but I'd just like you all to go down and ask and watch. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Just to raise one comment on that, I do know that the road safety plan that we did put together, we are looking at trying to get more crossings, and maybe that will come up this evening. So,
yeah, but you're on about using still money to pay for things as well.
Well, just to give a bit of an update on that, Highway, the last meeting we had with Highways when me and Councillor Balfour went, the one, basically you can't put still funding towards it, is what we were told at that time. So we can always pursue it. I know that there's an item on the agenda, so there's no harm in pursuing it again and asking that question again. But I do know that they won't accept it. And to do with the crossings, apparently it's not a money issue, it's to do with regulations and
how many people have been killed into it?
That is one of the statistics that is taken on audio.
Yeah, just recently, so we're taking a friend's dog for a walk. Big wagon pulled up, woman shot past it in the car, and the wagon driver's wife saw across the crossing, nearly got knocked down.
Yeah, because
so that's a local example.
Yeah, a very local example. How dangerous of where we live, I live, yes.
And this councillor's live near the roundabout.
Yes.
Who, to my view, should be looking into this.
Yeah, but most of you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't live at that end of the village.
We'll definitely take that on board.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
A couple of things about crossing. I handed a petition in for the crossing with this gentleman about the River Massey, and Martin Barnes dismissed it because of the crossings at the other side of the road. I can show him it in black and white. But regarding the other crossing, Mr. Simpson approached me, asked me to get council, everyone, council, whatever, could pass him around, please. I'd like to come and give yours, Martin. I want you to read that out, because you've had too many misses. Because this parish council has got a crossing today, they feel that you are responsible. Finish there.
May I just ask why wasn't this handed to the clerk in the office, so this could have been fully prepared instead of it being like a bit of a surprise thing for the councillors to...
He just approached me and he's asked me if I hand it round. I said, yeah, I'm doing what he asked.
Well, I'm afraid as chair I'm not going to read it out. We'll review it and we'll put it on, we'll review it with the clerk, and that's what my decision is on that. So
regarding that crossing, Martin Barnes and Jessica Carrington, it was in black and white, they just missed it. They don't even know the difference from the east side of the roundabout and the west side. It's disgraceful. Because the other crossing, and I'll show him that in black and white for you.
Sean, do you mind
Is
just...
any spare one? That's what I'm asking. But the councillor's not here. Is there any passed out?
Sean, you've handed your letter. Do you mind just sitting down, please?
Can I have the spare one for the councillor?
We're just handing them back to Sean. I think we'll review that and we'll, you know, address that at the next road safety, planning and environment committee. I've actually had a chance to review it and read it to see what it is.
Could I just suggest, Chair, that Sean formally hands it to the clerk, because then it's done through the proper procedures, rather than in this way.
Well, the gentleman asked me to pass it to parish councillors if I were attending the meeting.
So I mean, that's a legitimate question. Are you prepared to
this-
see that?
Yeah, well this way the councillors get a copy, don't they?
But as you know, Sean, from being a former councillor, you know that everything needs to go through the clerk as well.
Yeah, but when things
know that's
but
procedure,
when
though.
minutes are passed, from, it goes to committee meetings, and when things are passed as a recommendation, the councillors never know what's happening.
I disagree with that. But are you prepared to hand this letter? I've not opened it yet, so I'll be reviewing it after the meeting. Are you prepared to make sure that the clerk gets a copy? Or
Yeah, I'm sure you get a copy.
okay, thank you. Any other members of the public? Yeah.
Hello everybody, I'm Teresa, I'm one of the volunteer litter pickers in the village, and I've come to talk to you today about Sunday after the bonfire. So it was Remembrance Sunday, as you all know. I went out after the bonfire. I live quite close to the Mason's Arms, came up Bell Lane. Whichever vendors they've used to sell all the flashing lights and things have dumped all of their rubbish along Bell Lane. So I managed to pick up a bag and a half of vendor rubbish and 2 traffic cones that had wandered down Bell Lane. However, I also picked up hundreds of these. I found another one this morning that I'd missed. And the only way you can pick those up is getting on your hands and knees and doing it. However, I then walked as far as the village club from the top of Bell Lane, crossed the road at the garage and went back to the boot and shoe, and in that time I picked 8 bags of rubbish. So my question to the council is, who is responsible for this? Because we do this voluntary, but I'm afraid I was really cross doing that. 10 beer boxes, endless pizza boxes, loads of plastic cups, and whoever's been selling these, as you know, as you open them, I picked up loads of the plastic wrappers, but also they have like little bits of card where they hang them that are just all over Wakefield Road, that there's no way I could have picked those up. Now my understanding is that if you're a licensed premises and you're selling food and drink, it's part of your licence that you have to do a sweep at the end of the day to pick up your rubbish. Now we always pick up pizza boxes and such like. I picked up 4 right outside the pizza shop on a little slope, so no sweep had been done. As I was finishing at 9 o'clock, someone came out of the cricket club to start collecting their poles, one of which had already gone in my bag. Someone had run over it and destroyed it. It was disgusting, and it was Remembrance Sunday, and that's the reason I was out on Saturday. As you know, we have a group that go out regularly on a Sunday. Sue and I pick some stuff up in this village because we do all the roads leading into the village. We're in the ditches frequently. But I shouldn't have had to pick up what we picked up, and I just need to understand who should be held accountable for that. If as a council we're charging people £75 for dropping a cigarette butt, 8 bags of rubbish in the space of just a couple of 100 yards. It was shocking.
I mean, in regards to some of your comments regarding waste collection and those sorts of things, obviously, and the fines that you just mentioned, obviously they're imposed by Wakefield Council. Parish Council doesn't have that responsibility, but certainly in terms of what Parish Council can do, in terms of, because it does seem that there is a link between the event that was held at the cricket club in terms of the fireworks and so on. We can definitely communicate back to the cricket club and work through ways like that to basically let them know that, look, this has caused a wider problem of which, is causing volunteers such as yourself. It'll be causing issues where, I know, there might be other people that have picked up issues where they've had to report it to the council, and so it's causing some additional strains on our village, and so maybe, you know, some extra considerations need to be put in place.
I have emailed council and I've sent them the photographs.
I see,
But
yeah.
it is very difficult to take photographs when you're carrying 2 traffic cones, 2 bags of rubbish, and a litter picker and trying to pick any way up as well as at least 12 beer glasses. So we've got people taking glasses and drinking outside. And I saw nobody until about 9 o'clock, and it was Remembrance Sunday with people coming in our village to, you know, to take part.
Another comment I would make, of course, when it comes to litter, each individual as well is responsible, and it's just a shame that people do disrespect the areas, whether they're visiting or whether they live here. You know, people do litter, and basically they shouldn't as well, so there is personal responsibility as well.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
It was much worse than any other day I've ever picked that road in 7 years that we've been doing it.
I can understand. Totally understand.
I know it's a public listening, mate. If I just could be indulged for a minute or two. First of all, thanks very much for doing all the stuff you do. Because I see you out there a lot with Sue and Sue and everybody else, and that's fantastic. When, as a parish council, when we put on events like the gala, we make sure that all the litter is picked afterwards by volunteers, councillors, and by other volunteers, and by our staff as well. So we try to do that as much as we can. But sadly, the Wakefield Council don't send the same squads of litter pickers out that they used to do. That's why so many people have to pick their own litter, and I think you'll take it on board what you've said. And you know, any events that happen in the village that are anything to do with us, we will make sure that everything is, you know, picked. But you know, we've got no control as Martin says over what the pubs do and what anybody else is organising events do. I think they just needed pointing out to them that it has to be collected afterwards. Things have to be collected afterwards. But thanks for
Yeah, thank
contribution.
Well said.
Sorry, could I just comment? Did you say it was a cricket club? It was the bonfire, yeah. And I know that there will be some residents of Riddings coming to next month's meeting because quite a lot of them stopped me. They had some issues as well down there, so they said they were going to come to the next open meeting. No.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had your hand up.
No.
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Sorry, no.
I think Councillor Bell said it all there, really. I do know the gala, I think quite a number of councillors, we had those balloons with the confetti in or something, and I certainly remember me and Susie picking loads up from the grass trying to do our bit, so...
Could I just mention
Yeah,
something that a resident has emailed me about this week, about the cricket club, because it hasn't come through with other planning notifications to us, that apparently the cricket club have applied for a permanent licence.
Can I just...
I just wanted to mention.
I mean, I have seen that. The issue with... My understanding is it's not a planning application, it's a licensing application, isn't it? So it is slightly different to what...
We haven't been made aware of. Which
Yes, I totally agree, but on licensing applications, like the parish council is not a consultee on. We are on planning, but we're not on, so we won't necessarily get those notifications on that. And equally, I'm not even sure fully if I don't think we even have a right of it.
It's surprising, isn't it?
It is surprising, but that's why it's because it's different and it's licensing, it's to do with the police and all that side of it as well with Wakefield Council. But I am aware of it. I mean, just to briefly comment, I mean, I don't live anywhere near it, so for me, you know, the cricket club putting on more events, you know, for me it's just a benefit, but I'm not next to it getting a noise or anything like that, so, you know, different people are affected in different ways and everyone should be, you know, should be considered, really, so. So, of course we want to support events and so on, but again, that's just my personal view on that, if that makes sense. I'll come back to the members of the public. Any other? Yeah.
Yeah, I have concerns over the transparency of the finances of the parish. Basically, on the parish website, there's no SIL report for the 31st of March 2023, but there's one there for 22. So Basically, that's 8 months late.
The
CIL, C-I-L report.
yeah,
So basically, you've been publishing them, but you haven't published this year's.
but are you talking about the year 2023 to
31st of
2024?
March 2023, basically it's not there.
Well, that's
So it's 8 months late. So that then brings me on to item 2. It says on your website, all power councils are expected to publicise payments over £500 under the code recommendation practices, etc. Basically, all you've got there is from January to March 2023. So you've got April to June, July to September, which are missing. So again, we can't see what you're spending. I also note that you've ceased to be doing this, as I say. Is that something you've deliberately done, or is that something you've just missed off, or you're going to put down to you haven't got a clerk? And then the other one,
we have had a clerk first.
I know you haven't had a clerk, but basically you can bring other people in to help, and there are other clerks there. But I mean, I can understand a month late, 2 months late, 3 months late, 4 months late, 5 months late, 6 months late.
Can I just ask, have you forwarded this to the actual office?
No, I brought it up here because I thought I'd rather ask people so basically you're all aware.
Because you raised these questions,
right,
and obviously you like wanting an answer here and now, but it's basically here to catch us off the hoof, really.
No.
And essentially, all I'm going to say to you is, it will be raised with the clerk, we'll see what's going on and get them published.
I'd like to reply to that. I brought up at the last meeting where I was asking for financial information. I was asked to submit it in writing to the clerk. I didn't get an acknowledgement, basically nothing back again. So it's okay saying, put it to the clerk. Great excuse, put it to the clerk, but I get nowhere with it. And I've had to go for the freedom of information, basically, to try and get answers going back till February. Basically, you're not replying to anything. And you keep saying, put it in writing. So you put it in writing, you get no reply. There's no transparency.
Well, there is.
Well, tell me, how do I go to get an answer from you?
The finances are published, they're on the website, we'll look into the issue that you've raised.
Okay, I will submit it again for your, just to be clear with this, I will submit it again to the clerk. But I'm finding everything I submit, I don't get an answer to. She wrote back after the freedom of information and said, can you tell me exactly what you want? So I wrote back and said exactly what I asked, even though some of the information I found out from Wakefield.
It depends on, I mean, it'll be looked into, and if you could put it in writing...
Well, I'll keep on doing it, no, I'll just keep on going, and then after 20 days, I'll submit it. I'd rather you guys answer than basically get tied up in a load of bureaucracy.
But if we had this information before, we can maybe come to you
The
with the
ones
answer.
I've already asked, you haven't answered.
We'll look into it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm coming to an end of the public session, because it is only 15 minutes, so that's fair enough. So, I'll come to item 2 then, because we've already covered item 1, and that's just regarding audio recording, visual recording. So, apologies then, please.
Councillor Marshall and Councillor Parker.
And those reasons are written in the books. Do we all accept those reasons? Yeah. Thank you very much. Item 3, declarations of interest and dispensations. So 3.1, to receive any declarations of interest not already declared under the Council's Code of Conduct or members' Register of Disclosable Pecuniary Interests on items on the agenda. 3.2 will be to receive, consider and decide upon any written application for dispensation for disclosable pecuniary interest. And 3.3 to grant any requests for dispensation. Are there any? The only reason I go through them all so quickly is because normally are there not? No. Okay, so I'll move on. Item 4, to receive available reports from the following: West Yorkshire Police. Report. Is it just the one?
Yeah, just the one.
Oh, thank you. I'll just wait until everyone's got a copy before I read them out. Excellent. So this is the report from West Yorkshire Police. So the crime stats, we've got burglary, commercial, none. Burglary, residential, and there are dates on there. So we've had 4 between the 3rd of October and the 11th of November. Criminal damage, there's been 6 incidents. Theft from motor vehicles, the date was 11th of October to the 14th of November, so there was 2. Theft of motor vehicle, 1 incident, and that was 3rd of October to the 11th of November. Theft, other shoplifting, make-offs, etc. On both dates that we've got in the 2 columns, there's been 4 incidents and 14, so 18 in total. RTC injury, 1 incident. RTC damage only, 2, 9, so 11 in total. Other road-related, bad parking, bad driving, parking, etc. There were 9 incidents and 14 between the 2 dates. Antisocial behaviour and nuisance, 2 incidents and then 4, so 6 in total. Suspicious circumstances, 3 incidents and then 13. Concern for safety, 7 incidents and then 21. Harassment and malicious communications, nothing recorded. Animal and wildlife incidents, just 1 incident recorded. And violence, domestic, drug, sexual, etc., 17 and 29. And then on the back it just gives a more